What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Subscriber diatribe. You see the thumbnail. Can you recognize if the juice isn't worth the squeeze? And I think some people have a hard time with this. Now, with a little bit of time and experience, or an eye for things, you will come to figure it out. Like, if somebody puts on a big front, a big show, it's usually one of those situations where the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Like if somebody is like, say, over sexual or flashy, then the overall assumption should be that the juice isn't worth the squeeze because they're being hypersexual to reel you in because that's their best play. They're being flashy to reel you in because that's their best play, right? So you should be able to, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. You going, this is bait. This is bait. So, and a lot of times people go for the bait so hard that they don't stop and think and say, is this worth it? Another thing is sometimes you're not going to recognize the juice isn't worth the squeeze because it's you. And what I mean by that is your fantasy. You have a fantasy of a situation or of a person, and the juice will never be worth the squeeze with that person because you want them to fulfill the fantasy that you have for them in your mind. You know, you want them to be this funny and this compatible with you and like this in bed and like this financially and on their path to be this and on their path to be that, and that compliments you, and it's like, and then you realize, oh man, the juice ain't worth the squeeze with this person because they're not what I'm looking for. Well, that's not their fault on that. That's your fault. You know, they weren't trying to be what you have in your mind. So, of course, you need to recognize, you know, when people aren't trying to be what you want them to be, you know, it's going to be an issue. So that's another thing. Now, sometimes can you recognize when the juice isn't worth the squeeze when potential is at play? And what I mean by that is just because you see the good in a person or you see something in a person, even if they see it in themselves or they don't see it in themselves, it isn't worth you squeezing it out of them. It really isn't. Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to make an exception to the rule type decision where there are people who stuck by people and stuck with people and help them get the potential, maximize and reach their full potential. And you're hoping that you're going to facilitate that. And y'all might not have the same work ethic. And the other side of that is, what if the person that you're trying to help reach their full potential looks at you and goes, why are you pushing me so hard and you don't push yourself this hard? Is this about my full potential? Or is this about, you know, my full potential so I could be the best person I am? Or is this about me reaching my full potential so you can sit on your butt and act like I owe you for life, you know? So the juice isn't worth the squeeze. You should spend that time, you know, putting it into yourself. Because when you put that on another person, it becomes a problem, you know, because things come up. Now, sometimes the juice isn't worth the squeeze also with the potential is because some people may need therapy. Some people may need to talk it out with somebody. Some people might need to calm down a little bit. And the juice isn't worth the squeeze as far as all the mental issues and the mental anguish of going back and forth, arguing for no reason, fighting for no reason, getting to unnecessary conflicts and confrontations for no reason, trying to be somebody's, you know, Dr. Phil. It just doesn't pan out right. And when people have those breakdowns and they know something wrong with them, but they don't want to fix it, and you're constantly there, that ain't a good look. That ain't a good look. So the juice isn't gonna be worth the squeeze on that, because you're gonna break yourself apart with all of these shenanigans, right? So the other thing is, sometimes the juice isn't worth the squeeze when it comes to meeting people. How can I say this? With vices. See, sometimes people meet people with vices or low self-esteem, and they prey on them, because you're an easy target. You're a soft target. Like, I can get with you and I can get a lot out of you for a little, but ironically, and the juice isn't worth the squeeze on that, because what if that person smartens up? They're gonna get at you about that. What if that person, how can I say this? They're bargain basement, but they're bringing you down to the basement. You got to be in the basement to be with them. So you thinking you could do better, but you put yourself in that position. So, was it worth going from the first floor to the basement just to get something on the cheap, because of laziness? I don't see it that. I don't think so. But some people do it. So that's what it is. So like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.